Okay, so welcome back to day 15 of me documenting this journey here with this 70k account. So these are the metrics so far. Currently down quite a bit, 7.3%, and today is the 20. Actually, sorry, it's midnight. So it was actually the 19th, right? It's just hit midnight, so. Didn't take any single trades today because there was no setups on the daily. So I'm just gonna take you through daily and we can look at them and see why there was no setups. There was quite a few scalps, but let me go through the daily first. So we're not looking at this, we're looking at this one here, right? We're looking at this candlestick. So as we can see, it was in the zone still of this candlestick, so there's no play there. Same here, didn't break below here or break and close below here, so no play. Same here, pretty much it's going to be the same for every single one of them. So the market was pretty much consolidating yesterday. No play there, no play here, no play there. Now remember, we're not looking at this, we're looking at this, so this was still inside the range. Now going into Monday, we do have a few that have, well, technically are plays. So you're gonna see me actually mark this up live on here, just so you can see what's gonna be on my radar. So this actually is yes, just because as we can see, it broke above here and here. This one's technically just slightly a bit higher, and I think, is this the same as well? Yep, so USD CAD, make that orange. Did this? No, it was very close. This, no. This, yes. Get rid of that. Get rid of this as well. Let's do this. Daily red. Boom. Put that there. Then this is a very obvious one here. This one's broken multiple. Let me look at the highest one. So we got one. Do this. So daily blue. Let's take one here as well. There's so many here. To be honest, I don't like it when there's so many like this, just because, you know. But I'll have that there. So it has multiple areas where I can pull back from. So I'll mark that out. And then now, because it's a new week, let's check the weekly just really quick. Okay, nope. Yes. Okay, so on the weekly, we actually have this here. Let me go into the 1 hour. Okay, so on the weekly, once one closes, yeah. Okay, back to the weekly. Just quickly roll through this. No. Yes. Oh, so this is actually a weekly level too. So this will be probably the area of most significant for it to pull back. And then also this is a weekly area too. Let me see if I can adjust this. Daily, hold on, daily. Weekly. weekly level. Then let me grab this, one more weekly here. Boom. Right. Okay, let's go into the scalps. So the scalps is what I'm really excited for, because these have been playing out really well. So let's go into NAS. So I hate when that shows up every time. Cool. So let me just kind of go fresh. So New York and London overlap is the yellow box as always. So what we're waiting for is we are waiting for it to break out this zone. Right, so boom. I know it does it here. It's a massive breakout. So what we're looking at is which zones did it break over. So we have, let's do the highest one. So we can do one there. I remember I had one here. There was multiple ones here. Let's see what it does. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it did not come back on the second. Let me go 1 minute. Okay, so it's okay, cool. So this is one that actually I'm gonna pop it up somewhere on the screen here. I did take this forward testing demo trade. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I did take it like this, something like that, and I was just targeting a 1-to-1. It got kind of close, but then I got taken out for break even. It was slightly in profit. But one thing that I was thinking about and want to just still play around with is having an entry. Well, let's actually do 3 scenarios, right? Let's make it a little bit more interesting. So there's this one here, which is my original one. But then also the one where I like to enter off the pullback just because it gives me a way better entry. And let's keep the stop loss there. And then also, I remember Cramson was talking about getting in and having your SL right below the candlestick that you got in on. So instead of having it on this candlestick, I have it on this one here. So have that there. And then the fourth and final one, I know I said 3, but the fourth and final one is this. So I have well, let's say I just get in immediately, and then I have that, right? So let's see how it plays out. I'll tell you what my mindset was when this was going through. So okay, so I had a push. I know it's very small structure because it's under 1 minute, but this is a higher low and a higher high, which is, you know, uptrend structure, which is great. So when that happens, this is gonna be my break even. So I'm gonna shave off quite a bit of that risk by having the break even here below this structure point. Then okay, once it breaks this structure point as well, because I was trading it pretty aggressively, I had it here. This is where my stop loss was. And then, you know, it did get close to it, but then it was this candlestick that took me out for break even. It was a tiny bit of profit, but break even. Now, just going through the scenarios, right? With this one, it was a break even. With this one, it definitely hit a 1-to-1, because 1-to-1 is roughly there. Okay, let's just say that's 1-to-1. It definitely hit a 1-to-1 here. This one I hit the 1-to-1 with speed after the pullback, and then this one hit a 1-to-1 as well. When I start my with my scalping account, I'm gonna try and build a cushion just by going for 1-to-1s until I have a nice enough cushion to where I don't mind taking 1-to-2s and 1-to-3s, right? Because once again, 3 out of these 4 hit one. Wait, did this hit 1-to-1? Does that count? Literally on the dot. It hit it on the dot, right? So 3 out of the 4, 75% of these hit 1-to-1, right? So, and this is what I'm seeing. Most of these are hitting 1-to-1s really, really easily, or fairly easily. So anyway, let me get back on track. So this was a very, very small profit / break even, and then it ends up going back below the level. Today was a very, very, very hectic day. I had a lot of things going on, so I wasn't watching the charts like that. I was out the house at this time, I think, as well. So when it was time for the re-entry, I didn't even see it. So the re-entry was here, right? And once again, you know, let's play it out, right? So like, we have one where I follow it right after it closes, which is there, and I put it below this swing point, and let's say, you know, I'm just trying to go for something's. Well, let me just do back to this where the liquidity is, and then if we're gonna play out our scenarios, we have another one here where, let's say I tried to get in on a slight pullback, which is here, and I have the same SL basically. Then let's do this one where I get in right as it closes, but then instead of putting it below the swing point, I put it below here, right? And then the fourth and final one is like that, right? Let's see how these play out. I don't think it went to stop loss here. I think it pretty much shut up. Or am I mistaken? Okay, there we go. So that was a stop loss, right? So this would have hit stop loss on the second entry, which is interesting. Okay. So a second entry here. Okay, I went too fast. Let's just do this. I can't even do my scenarios now because now I can see what happens. So let's just do, actually, let's do it from here. So we enter straight away here. Stop loss below a structure point. And we are going for a 1-to-1. I'm just going to do these 1-to-1s because, like I said, I'm going to be aiming for these 1-to-1s. And then this one, let's say we get in on a slight pullback, and this 1-to-1 is there. Then this one here, we're going to get in at the close, but our stop loss is here, and that 1-to-1 is pretty easy. And then our fourth and final one, I think this is an interesting way to backtest and see how you can be setting up your trades. And then this one, boom, right? To be honest, that this seems way too tight, can't lie. So let's see. So that pretty much shot up straight away. So good news is this one would have been hit, so that's a 1-to-1. Let's see. Okay, 1-to-1 here as well. And there looks like there's no pullback at all. Okay, any pullback, oh, wait, I'm bugging. This got triggered as well. Here. For 1-to-1. Did this one as well? Very close, but it didn't. Let's be fair, that one did not hit. And this one did not hit either. So out of the 4, this one hit 1-to-1. This one hit 1-to-1. But these two didn't get triggered, right? And I think that was pretty much it for gold. So I'll stop with gold for a second. Yeah, I don't want to make this video too long, so let me go on to the next. Oh, sorry, hold on. Okay, cool. Same principle here. Let me just clear everything off here. Just do a nice little back session with you. There. Okay. So 1 hour, what we're waiting for is for it to break here. Okay, as we can see, it wicked out, but it didn't break, right? So we're still in the range. Okay, next, okay. Next one here, it did break, right? So this is where I need to do more studying. So I'm not really too sure if I'm supposed to have it here, because it broke. This is not how I did it, by the way. So I'm just gonna show you how I did it. So I just waited for it to break. Okay, so this is where I had it now. So one here. Let's do one out. I'm gonna run through this quick. And one here, and then also one here. Right. Let's get the vertical. Boom. 1 minute. Scale in. Okay. Okay, it's the no entry. Looks like no entry over there for me. I know I had something marked up on there previously. Okay. I went too fast. So let me zoom in and show you why I'm gonna mark this up. So I had this marked up. Why? Because this broke and closed below this range. So let me get rid of those. Let me get rid of that. Boom. I know that this is outside of the range, technically, well, in terms of like the yellow box. But as we see this, I don't know if you would count this. Actually, no, that would not count as an entry because it didn't close below here, right? But when I was looking back at it, I think there was, okay, yeah, here. So breaks below it, breaks out above. Let's do our quick scenarios here. So we got right after close there, boom, 1 to 1 there. Then also we have on the pullback. I know we can see it's hindsight now that we got the pullback, but I think that's why I would have had it realistically. And then let's do this as well on the pullback, but after this candlestick, so here, which I think will hit stop loss. And then the fourth and final one is this stop loss, but after close, which is here as well, 1 to 1. Okay, let's just quickly run through this. Perfect. So this would have been hit, so that's a 1 to 1, which is great. Okay, this would have been hit, which is a 1 to 1. Okay, 1 to 1. So all 4 of them got hit 1 to 1. Perfect. And then let me go into the US 30. Did I have anything drawn here? Let me just quickly 1 hour. Nope, stay. Get rid of that. Okay. Yeah, so this had a pretty big breakout. So it broke out here on the 1 hour zone. And then are the main three. I know that there's literally this one here and this one here and this one here, but those are the main three that I'll just keep an eye on for now. And then let me put that there, and let's see what happens. So, got so close here, so close. Come on, come on, come on. There we go, there we go, there we go. Cool. So, I should just do a quick little analysis. So after this close, boom, 1 to 1. Okay, that's perfect. It's already done it for me. Then actually, yeah, it would still be here technically. But let's say like on a slight pullback here, 1 to 1, which is there. Those are the only two scenarios, right? And then yeah, just immediately just hit it. So yeah, 1 to 1, 1 to 1 as well. If I'm not mistaken, these, what is that, a 1 to 2, close to a 1 to 3 before it came back down for break even. So this is what I mean when I say the 1 to 1. It just works so well, especially if you're trying to get that little cushion as well, which is going to help you mentally. You know, you hit 3 or 5 trades 1 to 1, risking whatever you're risking, let's say 1%, that's 5%. And then, you know, if you wanna, if for the rest of the week you wanna trade and let them run, knowing that you have that nice little cushion and you just move your stop loss to break even on the ones that are running, then I can see how you can really scale this thing up. You know, instead of like trying to go for this, which, you know, it definitely works, but then just, you know, little stuff like this where you're gonna get taken out for break even, and then it eventually goes back up, and then you're break even when you could have took a 1 to 1 or 1 to 2. Because I'm pretty sure this still gets to liquidity, if I'm not mistaken. Let me speed this up. Come on. Okay, looks like it didn't even get there. So even, you know, stuff like this, it protects you, right? Instead of trying to go for this and then, you know, you miss it by a couple pips and you know, leave a lot of money on the table, you still collect that quick, you know, 1%. And as you know, that can add up really quickly. You know, in a week, it seems like I'm seeing these plays every single week. And on multiple pairs, it's not just gold, it's gold, US30 and NAS. I'm not saying you have to trade all three of them every single day, but it seems like basically all three of them are presenting these trades that are hitting 1 to 1 every single day. So, you know, that could be conservatively, that's like 1% every single day. Of course, there's going to be losses in there, break evens as well. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking about this. I am very excited about scalping in the new year. But yeah, that's about it. This is the late video. It's literally 1 a.m. It's about to be 1 a.m. here. But that's it. Have a happy holidays. Merry Christmas. And have a good weekend for everyone that's watching this. Take care and God bless.